because I look at the One Bite app and like it's like this map comes up, right? It's like here you are, and you've got like 4 places like right over here. You've got a place here. You've got like 6 places right over here.
Damn.
You've got like 10 of places over here. You've got I don't even know what Glenwood is, but I mean you've got just all like it's like whoa hello. It's just like everywhere you go. It's like pizza, 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 pizza.
Yeah, there's a lot of pizza spots in this
It
area.
really is, man.
Just in general.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm just
okay.
I don't know. I'm just like in a waving mood today.
Yeah, you're just like woo. You're kind of like that. Like sometimes, like you'll see at those car shops, like the waving guy, like just bouncing around. No, it's like that inflatable, the waving inflatable guy. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry,
I got you.
No, it took me a second to figure out what I was talking about, but I had to describe it. But yeah, that guy.
I was thinking more like Ernie Bach Jr. Come on down, like.
Don't get me started about Ernie Bach Jr. Anyway, before we go down that rabbit hole, time for another episode of On a Couch Talking Sports, and it's great to be back with you once again. Before we get into tonight's episode, which promises to be a fire episode, we do want to thank our sponsors, Zion Organizing and Wes Woodson, for their continued support of our show, and Marvel at the Movies and the Sports Blitz. Definitely two big-time supporters for a trio of great YouTube shows. So, definitely give them a look, and their links will be in the description. So shout out to both Zion Organizing and Wes Woodson. So tonight, kind of like we did for last week's episode, we're going to dive into a little bit of current events that have popped up here over the last few days, and that is news regarding the one, the only, the GOAT, Tom Brady. And no, it's not that he's retiring again, although that probably is going to come after this season, but it is...
Is it though? We're not really sure if that's even going to happen.
We're never sure. I mean, at this point, we're never sure. At this point, anything is possible. As my boy Kevin Garnett said, anything is possible. So, but anyway, there is some news in Tom Brady land, and it's very interesting news because Tom and Giselle have apparently... Are you ready for this? Are you ready? They've apparently hired divorce. I can't even. Wait, hold on. You gotta let me actually like say the words because I just completely fumbled that delivery.
Early reaction on my part.
Yeah, that's okay. They hired divorce lawyers. There we go. There you go. Nailed it. But yeah, apparently there is trouble in River City. If you couldn't figure that out already, and it's interesting to me because I have felt that their marriage was sort of on and off the rocks for a while now and was kind of potentially heading down that road because of like rumors that you hear, speculation, things that have been said and all that good stuff. But now it's starting to become more and more realistic of a possibility as, like I said, they have both, not just one, but both have hired divorce lawyers, which definitely, I mean, if you're planning on staying together as a married couple, you don't usually hire divorce lawyers. So that definitely is a strong indicator that it may be their marriage may be on the outs. And I can't say I'm 100% surprised, again, because of sort of things you read in the news over the past few months and years, and I think unfortunately, before I get Kyle's take, I want to say sort of two things. First of all, I'm not surprised by it, and second of all, I think that this has been brewing for a lot longer than the whole retirement unretirement issue. I think him retiring and then unretiring may have been kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, but it's just been sounding like there's been issues for a while now. And so when I heard this news, it didn't really surprise me, and I didn't think that it could just be that one like retirement unretirement thing, because that just seems a little bit drastic for a step
Yeah.
to take. If it was just solely based on the fact that he retired then unretired, that would be kind of like that would be quite the escalation there, if you ask me. So I think there just has to be much more to it. But yeah, Kyle, I wanted to sort of get your take on it, because I know you and I, again, when I kind of texted you about it, first of all, say, oh, let's do this for an episode. Second of all, if you hadn't already heard, to kind of let you know about it. But I was curious just your take on, this news that Tom and Giselle are maybe on the outs, perhaps, in terms of married life.
Yeah, I mean, right, like you said, like the whole divorce lawyer thing really, really kind of says it all. I don't know. It's one of those things where I honestly can't really pick a side in this case. I think they're both very successful people in their own right.
Yes.
In both of their, in what they do, and I don't know. It just comes down to, I think they both just kind of. I mean, it's hard to make early like speculations right away, because obviously, you could. It's hard to make we don't have a lot of facts to kind of back this up and everything, but like it just seems like, I don't know, like from a speculating standpoint, they.
And by the way, a lot of this at this point is speculation, because basically that's all the news at this point, is that they've reportedly hired divorce lawyers. So we don't. Yeah, I mean, basically anything we say or talk about will be kind of pure speculation at this point, because nothing has been announced. I mean, it's all reporting and speculative at this point. So
yeah, and like I think they're both very what do you call it? Very very kind of like, they're both kind of alphas in that situation.
They're very strong-willed.
Strong-willed, yeah. That's another good way of saying that too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They I think they kind of want things a certain way, and I feel like they both probably just couldn't maybe meet halfway when it came to that. So yeah, it just seems like, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but they it sounds like they've got quite the journey ahead of them. Especially if they both got those lawyers, backing them up on each of their, on each of their corners of the ring, if you will. So, I mean, look, I know Tom Brady and his whole thing with football. He doesn't seem to ever want to stop football. He probably will never stop football. I think they'll probably have to try to like yank him out of the game, at age 80 at that point. And Giselle probably just had enough of it. I think
I think Giselle probably thought like that this was kind of her time. Tom's retired now. I can kind of, get back. First of all, he'll spend more time, with the family, but also she can kind of. I know she's been wanting for a while to kind of like get even just a little bit back into the modeling world and stuff like that. It's just gotta be frustrating. It's like, he said he was retiring, and like now all of a sudden he just kind of, after like 2 months, like went back on his promise. And I cannot even imagine how that feels, especially if you've got like especially if sort of the frustration and the issues have kind of pent up, and this is just kind of like the latest, again, I hate to say no sort of nail in the coffin, but it kind of sounds like that may be what it was.
Yeah.
So
well
yeah, no, I mean, it's true. It's just, and I feel, who I feel bad for is the kids. I mean, because I know they have 2 kids together, and obviously I know he has a third son with Bridget Moynihan.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for the kids, because I mean they're still relatively young, and I mean, who knows how this whole situation has been impacting them and stuff like that, and so. I just hope they can at least keep it like civilized for the sake of the kids and stuff like that, and all of that good stuff. So, but yeah, it's like I said, just a very tough situation. Anytime you're going through, family drama or a divorce or anything like that,
it sucks.
It really does. It really does. I mean, take it from experience. Like it's a very, very bad. It's a very, very not. I don't know. Bad might be too strong a word, but just a very, very tough situation to go through at any age, but especially like if you're a kid, still, a child age, like I can only imagine what that is like just mentally to have to go through. So, like I said, if I feel bad for anybody in this case, it's those kids and like what they're kind of having to be, what if anything they're having to be kind of put through behind the scenes. So, can't be an easy situation. So.
Yep. But I guess goodwill best to all to the kids that are affected by the situation. Hopefully they'll be okay after all that.
I hope so. Yeah, hopefully they can be strong through it. It's not it's just not easy. It just really isn't. And again, obviously, I know that they have hired lawyers, and I mean, the fact of the matter is that that's a pretty strong indication that it is coming at some point down the road.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's over. They're done with it.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Listen. Could a miracle happen? Like, anything is possible. I mean, as KG says, but let's be honest. I mean, the writing is on the wall here, and. I do wonder, one of the things I've been wondering this season, I know that a lot of people have been wondering, is sort of how this whole Giselle drama has kind of like impacted his play on the field this season, because like...
Oh, yeah.
Because like, I don't know, I'm not saying that, I'm not saying he's been like that off like as a player, but there have been times where like people have been sort of like noticing and pontificating where that he kind of is a little bit off at times this season, and you would just have to wonder, like, in his mind, like what how much he's able to focus on football with all this other stuff going on, because like you said, it can't be easy to try to play a sport that you love when basically your whole family situation is in a sense sort of crumbling down around you. I can not imagine what that would be like. So, you hope that he can stay strong through it all, especially if this is his last season. You'd like to see him go out, somewhat successfully. But again, a lot remains to be seen there. So, just it's a tough situation. I mean, I think is to sum it up perfectly from my end. It's just very tough, and I hope the best for everybody involved.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I'm sure we'll find out what happens in the next maybe even week or so. So
who knows at this point? I mean, you could sort of get anything could break at any given moment's notice. I mean, you just really don't know at this point what that timetable is going to look like. So, like Kyle said, a lot remains to be seen here. But we definitely you're good. But we're definitely gonna keep tabs on it here on a Couch Talking Sports, and maybe when something happens, we'll do a little follow-up episode, sort of give our reaction to whatever is made official here coming up in the following weeks, months, whatever the case may be. So, by the way, you got anything else on it, or?
No, I think we said what we need to say.
Very good. I agree. So. Now it is time to sort of transition to a bit more some brighter notes with our sort of final two segments here that we like to do on this show. Before I get into the Robbie's favorite fantasy football recap, I did want to do one more thing. This is kind of a not an ad lib because I was planning on it, but kind of an add in is the better word. So one of us that is sitting on this couch is celebrating a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
It's not me.
What? Oh.
It's not me.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yes, my buddy Kyle here is celebrating a birthday tomorrow.
Yay.
And it's always an exciting day when Kyle turns another year older, just like when I turn another year older, for that matter.
Yeah, just another year.
The one cool thing about this birthday, Kyle, I will say, without giving it away, is you will be turning an age where the numbers are both the same.
Oh, yes. Matching numbers.
Matching
Okay.
numbers. By the way, if you think you know, this could be slightly embarrassing, but if you think you know how old, or want to try to guess how old Kyle is turning tomorrow, please comment down below with how old you think. We'll see if anybody, probably nobody will comment anyway, but because nobody ever does comment on our show, or rarely. But yeah, if you think you know how old Kyle is turning, comment down below.
If you say 25, then I'll give you a huge thumbs up.
Well, considering the fact that I just said it's the same number twice in a row, it would be...
Don't listen to him. I'm 25, so yeah, that's my real age.
He's 25 times. Anyway, but yeah, happy birthday, buddy, in all seriousness.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And definitely quite a way to celebrate the night before your birthday than filming an episode of On a Couch Talking Sports. So, anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there. I hopefully didn't embarrass you too much. But so, now it's time, though, for my real segment, which is the Robbie's favorite fantasy football recap. So, I'll start with fantasy football. Again, I have 3 teams, if you're just new watching the show and this segment. This week I actually didn't do half bad. I went 2-1.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, okay. I went 2-1. I actually won in both my money leagues and then lost in my non-money leagues. So
gotcha.
I currently sit in my 2 money leagues at 3-1, which is really not that bad.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, very, very solid record. And then in my what's it called? In my free league, in my non-pay league, I'm 2-2. But still,
okay.
I'm basically at or above 500 in all 3 teams. So,
nice.
4 games into the season, that is a pretty good spot to be at. So I will take that all day long.
Cool.
Very happy about that. So, and then in terms of my favorite football recap, this past weekend was actually a really good weekend for my favorite football teams. I will tell you why. Starting with high school, Wellesley High, who bounced back from a 2-game losing streak to defeat Newton North this past Saturday, 44-7.
Wow!
So they kind of blew out Newton North.
Defeated them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they just they ran all over them, which was really nice to see. And so now they stand at 2-2 on their 2022 season.
Cool.
And they will be in action against a very familiar foe, Natick, tomorrow night in Natick. Natick, who is 1-3 so far in the season, so actually a very winnable game for them, even going on the road to Natick. So it's going to be a fun one as always when those two get together. BC also got a victory this weekend, despite getting blown out by Florida State last week. The Eagles responded and picked up a thrilling victory at home against Louisville on Saturday to get back into the win column and now sit at 2-3 overall on this season. And this week is going to be a big one. They've got number 5 ranked Clemson coming to town Saturday night. Clemson, the undefeated Tigers, who basically, have had their number the last several seasons, and so we'll see. Maybe can BC pull a miracle out of a hat and pull the upset? Anything is possible. It's going to be a fun night of football, I can tell you that much. I'm really looking forward to it. So, what was I going to say? But yeah, so BC Clemson this Saturday night. Unfortunately, the Patriots did not come out victorious, but what an effort by them. Basically, just so to give you a little sort of backstory. So the Patriots going into this past weekend's game against Green Bay, were already without Mac Jones, who suffered a high ankle sprain in their loss to the Ravens. So he was ruled out for that game. So Brian Hoyer, the backup, started the game against Green Bay, and then it literally in the first quarter went down with a concussion. So he had to come out of the game. So literally it was all left to the third string rookie quarterback, Bailey Zappi,
Wow.
to come in first NFL game, not just first NFL game, regular season game, and it's at Lambeau Field against the Packers. And you know what? He put up a really good showing for himself. I was actually really impressed despite the early jitters. He really settled in, did a great job, and the Patriots were eventually in a position to win the game. I mean, they were up 24-17 into the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Packers tied it up, and unfortunately for the Patriots, the Packers ended up winning in overtime, 27-24 on a field goal in the final, literally the final play.
Yeah, I did see that.
Literally the final seconds of overtime, the Packers kicked the game-winning field goal. But
that was pretty.
Honestly, given my expectations going into that game, before even Hoyer got hurt and Zappi replaced him, I will take that moral victory that came out of that loss. I know that they lost. I know they're 1-3. I know it's disappointing, but the fact of the matter is that they really, again, doing it with taking the Packers on the road to overtime, with their third string quarterback, is no small matter. I mean, it's something. So hopefully this can maybe energize the Pats and sort of get them going maybe in the right direction. We shall see. Cool. They are back at home this weekend to take on the Detroit Lions. So, again, let's see if they can get a W back in the column here. It'll have to remain to be seen. But
very nice.
Yeah, very much looking forward to another exciting weekend of football. Again, tomorrow night, Wellesley Natick. Saturday night, BC Clemson, and then Sunday afternoon, Pats and Lions. So 3 very thrilling games, all within the state of Massachusetts. So that is it for my part of our sort of end segments here. And now I'm going to turn over to the birthday boy, the Suze himself, Kyle, for another, what I'm sure will be rousing edition of the Suze Reviews. So Kyle, take it away.
All right, so instead of movies, I feel like I've been talking a lot about movies and stuff recently. I figured I'd change the subject to video games. Here we go. Legend of Zelda.
Take it off. Ugh. Take it off.
Bam! Here we go. Zelda shirt. That's what I'm talking about. Because I had just beaten a Zelda game recently called the Oracle of Ages. And it's actually a game that came out on the original Game Boy Color. The Game Boy Color. Not the original... The Game Boy Color. It essentially is, it's a top-down 2D Zelda-style game, and it's got adventure elements, and you have to. It's pretty typical Zelda fare. You go through 8 dungeons. You fight enemies. You solve the puzzles. You have this kind of sprawling overworld, and the more items you get, you kind of unlock different parts of the overworld to get to. It's a really fun adventure game. I really enjoyed it. That one was very puzzle heavy. As opposed to its sibling game, Oracle of Seasons, which I'll talk about later because I'm actually in the middle of getting through that one actually right now. And basically, Oracle of Ages is a more kind of puzzle-heavy Zelda game, so it gets a little cryptic at times. You have to kind of really... I got lost quite a bit at times. That's kind of the one of the downfalls a little bit of the game. I had to kind of look at the guide and even maybe on YouTube a little bit to figure out how to get from point A to point B every now and then. But overall, it's a really good experience. I just like the overall, if you like the kind of classic Zelda style game, I think especially if you like Link's Awakening, fans of Link's Awakening will be right at home with these games. They take basically the style, the graphics and everything, and they essentially made 2 new games with it. Now, the cool thing about these 2 games, and I think I'll try to go a little more in depth once I defeat Oracle of Seasons, but it was actually a dual release. So Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons came out at the same time. Oracle of Ages was a blue cart and Oracle of Seasons was a red cart. That sounds kind of familiar, huh? Yeah, it's kind of like Pokemon, right? That's what Pokemon did. Essentially, they were the same games, but with different Pokemon. That's how those games did it. These two are actually two completely different Zelda adventures. So when you play one, you're not playing the same as the other. Essentially, what they kind of were trying to do was to take two separate Zelda adventures, but kind of make a really big one, a big sprawling one. Because if you beat both games, well, you beat one game. It doesn't matter which game you start with. You can start with Ages or Seasons. They'll give you a code at the end of the game. Then what you do is you go on to the other game that you haven't beaten yet, and you put the code in, and that's what I did. So I beat Oracle of Ages, and it was a great time. The boss was actually surprisingly kind of easy. I thought that was really surprising. I couldn't believe how easy the final boss was. But some of the other bosses were pretty challenging too. So it's got kind of a pretty good steep challenge there at times. But once you defeat the game, they give you a code, and you put the. So what I did was I took the code from after I defeated Oracle of Ages and put it into Oracle of Seasons, and it gives it kind of a whole new experience because characters from Ages will pop up in Seasons if you put the code in, which is pretty awesome. And you can carry items over. There's a whole secret system that they do, and yeah, so it's actually a pretty cool experience. So I think like if you'll have a good time playing Oracle of Ages by itself, but I think in order to really get the full experience, to get the most out of the experience, you need to get the other cartridge because it's essentially a continuation. They're both kind of continuations of each other, and eventually you get to unlock a really cool secret at the end. Actually, once you defeat both games, so I'll get more into that once I finally finished Oracle of Seasons. But definitely check out that game, Oracle of Ages. And so far, I do like Oracle of Seasons, and I'll definitely like I said, I'll get more in depth with that review next time. But yeah, it's a good game. So yeah,
cool. Thank you, Kyle, as always, for that rousing review, and you should definitely listen to him. Unlike me. Well, I know the deal.
Robbie was taking notes. I get you.
Yeah, I know I was. I'm writing a whole novel on the Sue's reviews and just how enthralled I've been with it for the last however many years we've been doing this. But no, thank you, buddy, as always, for that. So that's gonna wrap up this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, want to thank our sponsors, Zion Organizing and Wes Woodson. Big shout out, as always, to Marvel at the Movies, the Sports Blitz, our pal Doug, who's involved in both of those. Big shout out, Doug. Hey, listen, you like what you see on this episode? Definitely give us a like, give us a subscription, click the bell, give us a comment. Again, try to guess his age, folks.
25.
And of course, you can find us right here on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. So we're all over, and we're making moves and just kicking ass and taking names. We came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and as far as I can see, we're all out of bubble gum. So anyway, nice. That's gonna do it. Sometimes I just gotta throw one in there, right? Yeah.
That's good. Nailed it.
I try. I learn from the best. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, he's Kyle. I'm Robbie, and we're on a couch and we just talk some sports. So until next time, folks. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll catch you next time here from the couch. See you later.